What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We're talking about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's
going on? So, pretty busy week this week, so definitely tune in for all of our episodes. So, Monday, we talk about OpenAI and how they're, I guess, the victims of espionage like a year ago, and it's just not coming out. Tuesday, we talk about how there is a bigger compilation of passwords out there, 10 billion passwords, or more specifically, like Shannon said, a bunch of string of numbers. That's around 9.9 billion. There you go. I'm not going to say the rest. And how that's probably impacting you in some way, so you might want to change your password. And then the Wednesday discussion being on CISOs and how to stay out of jail. So it's a really good article from Dark Reading. You should definitely check it out. If you plan on being a CISO, it's something you should definitely look into before you take on the role. If you're currently a CISO, God help you. You're doing God's work. It's getting rough out there. So definitely check that one out. And then Thursday would have been Roger White. So Professor White, he is a teacher, mentor, and BISO within the cybersecurity realm. So definitely great conversation. Check that one out. We hope to have him on Ask Assistant maybe next week or the week after. So definitely tune in for that one. And then you're on Friday. So everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So that's what we talk about. So if you tuned in for the cyber stuff, that's earlier in the week. This is everything else. So with that being said, Shannon, how was your week?
Man, I won't complain. It was a pretty good week. It was shorter than normal because we had the 4th of July holiday, and then it was my Friday off anyway. Every other Friday I have off with the schedule that I work, so it worked out to where it fell on, the 4th being a Thursday, and then having that Friday off. So I had to put in a little extra time to make up, the hours and whatnot, but in the beginning of the week, but I made it work. So it was a good time. Spent time with the family. Went and did a little mini golf, you know what I mean? Let them play in a little inflatable park. That's kind of their thing with my younger two children. They want to be up on these dirty inflatables, just like, oh, this is so fun. I'm like, well, you're taking a shower when you get home, as soon as you get out. But they love it. They enjoyed themselves. When it came to movie watching, I watched a couple movies. This week. So I watched The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. Like, I've been seeing it every so often. Yeah, and it's good action, but like as far as the plot and whatnot, it's like, man, I don't know. You ain't that good, right? Like that's
pretty terrible.
It's again, Jason Statham is not like the best actor out there. He's a great, stunt man and does great fight scenes and things like that.
I remember his movies being more not cheesy, and then it was like Transporter 2 or 3 is when they went off the rails.
Yeah, and then the Meg 2, and then no, it's if you like good action, like they got good action in here, right? For stuff that they do, right? Guns shooting off and fire and explosions and things of that nature. Him just whooping people's butts, man, all over the place. So it's okay for action, right? But the story is just like, it's not believable. Like, not one bit. But
we need the beekeepers.
I know. We do, right? We need them. So watch that. Started watching this TV series, Clipped, and it's about Donald Sterling, who was the former owner of the Clippers. So for people that aren't sports fans or whatever, he was an owner that was he was pretty much forced to sell his NBA team because of some, racist remarks that he had made and whatnot. But they did I think it's either a 6 or 8-part series on it called Clipped, and it's got Lawrence Fishburne playing Doc Rivers. It's got Ed O'Neill, who's Al Bundy. He's playing Donald Sterling. But it's not bad, man. I've only 1.5 episodes in so far, and I'm like, ooh, like some of the stuff I didn't know. Like, I'm a sports fan, but I only read so much. And again, it says based on true events, right? So some of it's sensationalized. You got to understand that, right? But I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty rough. You know what I mean? That's pretty rough.
Right. I saw the thumbnail. I think it's on Max, right?
It was on Hulu. I'm watching it on Hulu. So I think it's an FX was an FX series that's showing on Hulu, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know what it was. I just saw the thumbnail because it's a hand holding two basketballs, just
Yeah, but it's
clipped.
got
I was like,
yeah. It's got the red and blue nails like the Clippers though. Like the
yeah,
nails are red and blue like the Clippers primary colors, right? But that's what it's about. It's, what things that he said and how his assistant, who was suspected of being a mistress, was also recording him, and then it came out. And I'm not giving up anything on the series, right? Like it was a big news story when he had to sell the team. Like when the team got sold, he sold it to what's Ballmer's first name? The former Microsoft CEO. Steve Ballmer. That's what it is. Steve Ballmer. But Steve Ballmer was crazy rich, right? Anyway, right? But he ended up buying the team, and yeah, he was forced to sell it, which to me is kind of crazy, right? So like it's kind of wild because he did something bad. He had bad behavior and he profited from it, right? Because Palmer had the money and he was like, I like basketball. I want to do this. And Palmer seems like a very energetic owner that wants the team to win, right? Like he's at the game dancing
part
and
of a football team too, right? Does he?
does he? You might be
No,
thinking of the one that died for Seattle, Paul Allen. Might be who you're thinking about. Paul Allen died of cancer 4 or 5 years ago, but he was an owner of the Seahawks. That might be, and he was also CEO. He's I think he was co-founder of Microsoft, right?
Yeah,
Co-founder of Microsoft. Yeah. Paul Allen, I think was his name. That might be who you're thinking about. But I'm not saying Ballmer may not be a partial owner of one of these NFL teams. That could be the case. Like he's got enough money to buy 3 teams if he wants to, but then it becomes a conflict of interest, right? At that point, you know what I mean? Because he's worth
himself.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, which one do I want to win today? Which one's going to help my standing, right? Because he's worth like $20 billion or something like that, right? So he can purchase an NFL team if he wants to, but I don't know if he wants to get in the business of doing that, right? But yeah, that's an interesting series. Also watched Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Right, Axel F. Baby, please say the baby, but yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's better than the third. I'll say that. Like the third Beverly Hills Cop was, man, all right, whatever. And they do some callbacks to some stuff and whatnot. But like some of the people in here, you're like, man, they are looking their age, man. Like it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, do you really have a police officer that's been around for 40 years? You know what I mean? Like, is that really a thing? Because like, think about it. Like the first movie was like 1984 or something like that for the first Beverly Hills Cop, right?
And even in the movie, he like so rich is crazy. Like when you're rich, you can look healthy for a long time. You have a dietitian, you're eating right, you have access to things, trainers, things of that nature. The rest of his cast, not so much.
Yeah.
They look their age. He doesn't.
For sure. And it's weird because in the movie, like they talk about, his time in Beverly Hills and they give the actual years you were hearing, like, and it's the years of the releases of the movies, right? So it's 1984, 1987, 1994, right? But then he says in the movie, I've been a cop for 30 years. Like, nah, man, it was 40 years when the first movie was released and you were a cop before that. You know what I mean? You were a veteran on the Detroit Police Department before that. So we're looking at like 48 years or something like that, that you've been a cop. Like this, the math ain't mathing on this, you know what I mean? But I thought it was still a decent watch, right? Kevin Bacon is in it too, right? Like I love seeing Kevin Bacon and stuff. And like he plays I don't want to give it away, but he plays his part very well. You know what I mean? Like, and in all the movies, Kevin Bacon's always a gem in what he does, right? But I'd still recommend it to people. Like if you like it, if you like the Beverly Hills Cop series, I think you'll get a kick out of some of the stuff that's going on here. But yeah, it leaves a little something to be desired. It's way better than what's coming to America. I don't know that second coming to America. Yeah. I think I have only seen that once. Like I tell myself I gotta go back and watch it again.
Coming to America probably
a million,
hundreds of times.
Yeah. A million. That first Coming to America is even in this day.
Whenever it's on, I'm just like I just sit down and I just watch.
Yeah. Like if I so like I don't have cable, so like in my streaming services, if I see it's playing live or something like that, like even with the commercials, I'll watch it and then I'll be like, man, if I gotta go somewhere or something, I'll be like, I know this is streaming somewhere. I was like, or I at least have this Blu-ray around here somewhere, DVD or something around here somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I know I got it. So yeah, Coming to America, hilarious. Like I will watch that every time. Harlem Nights is another one. I do that.
Oh
too.
Yeah. Like not to derail you, but since we're in a conversation, I would say the 5 movies that are like that. And this is off the cuff. Coming to America, Baby Boy,
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Friday, Harlem Nights, which my wife has still not seen. I've watched it so many times without her.
What?
She still hasn't seen it. No, like
You got to sit her down, man.
I got to wrangle her. I got to be like, you have to watch this. This is a classic. What would be that fifth movie? Where it's all you just.
What about Trading Places? What about Trading Places? You watch Trading Places like that?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I've not watched Trading Places nearly as much as I've watched Tony Tomera or Baby Boy.
Baby
Boy's not a great movie, but it's just whatever. I just always sit down and I watch it whenever it's on.
With Baby Boy, it annoyed me some that he was a grown man acting like that. You know what I mean? So like, I get annoyed with which is I'm a great actor, right? It's like, Tyrese, you got me upset with how you're acting right now. You deserve to get punched in your face by old boy. Cause like,
right.
You're acting like a child. You're too old to be doing this. But yeah.
Whenever it's on, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Fifth Element for me is one of them.
Fifth Element. It was just on. It was just on. And it was, I had commercials. It was making me mad because I know I have it in the garage on Blu-ray. So I was tempted. I was like, I can go in the garage, but I was like, it's already on. I'm just going to watch it. And then the bad dubs, like, especially Friday, when they dub over it, you're like, that's not nice. But Friday After Next. And then there's another one. I got to pull out the DVD.
Is it Ride Along? It's got to be a Cube movie. Like, those are all Cube. Ice Cube.
No, it's not Ride Along. It's not Ride Along. It's
Players Club.
Is it Players Club? Because whenever that's on, I gotta watch that one too. But they don't play that one enough. Like, it's very rare. I'll flip the channel and Dollar Bill will be on, and I'm like, Players Club's on.
Because the subject matter is a little sensitive, right? Like,
that is true.
That's what it is. Like, there's like some of the stuff that happens in there. You're just like, oh, like you can't laugh. We can't laugh. Like, it's a comedy, right? But she's like, you can't laugh at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's very true. But yeah, whenever that's one's on. But no, the other one, so I remember it now.
Barbershop. Is it Barbershop? Or 40-year-old
No, it's Barbershop. You're right. Yeah, it's Barbershop on the compilation. Yep. So it's Barbershop, Friday After Next, and All About the Benjamins, which is good. I don't know why that one never really stuck with me though. Like, it's funny, but it's nowhere. It's not like God tier Friday, which I don't know how that one blew up. I honestly, like, the budget was non-existent. The actors weren't as well known as they are now, right? But that is a cult following. Like, I love that movie.
I think because it just hit close to home for some people, right? Like, you don't have to be in California to realize that story, right? Like, it just happens. Everybody has that bully that's running around the neighborhood taking stuff. You know what I mean? They got the ice cream man, and some of these places is the drug dealer. It's just what it is, right? Like, it doesn't have to be in L.A. Like, that's a Detroit story. That's a Baltimore story.
Iconic characters. You got Devo, Smokey, Big Worm, iconic. A lot of the people in that movie passed away. It's crazy.
Yeah, you start thinking about it, right? You're like, man, he's gone. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, a lot of people passed away from that movie. But no, the other compilation that has 40-Year-Old Virgin, that movie, if it's ever on, I have to watch. And that same thing, cult following, like Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, Kevin Hart has a cameo in it. What was the real creepy boss? What was her name? The female comedian with the short hair?
I know you're talking about, because she was in Glee,
she plays
too.
A lot of stuff. Because she's also in Wreck-It Ralph.
She's in Wreck-It Ralph?
She's in Wreck-It Ralph. She's the Space Marine, general or whatever. Okay. Yeah. And then my man, he didn't really blow up all like that.
Seth Rogen in there, too.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. The actor who, he's bald.
I think his name's Romeo something. It's
Romeo something.
Romello or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I follow him on social media because he plays this character. He's always this character on social media where he's kind of like he reminds me of Martin's old timey character, but he never really blew up. But I see him in things sparingly. Like, he pops up from time to time, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Romany Malco. R-O-M-A-N-Y. Malco, yeah.
He's hilarious. He was like, look at my I can't say it on recording.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it's his arm. It's like, no, that's his he was showing the sonogram picture.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Or he says the he's trying to get Steve Carell's character to play along with the
Yeah.
girlfriend. He goes
Yep.
off the rails. He's like,
Yeah.
keep your girl on the leash. He's like, hold on.
Went too far.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks, yeah, she's in it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jane Lynch is the name of the
Jane
boss
Lynch,
at the story. Yeah. Jane Lynch is her name. Jonah Hill, that's right. He was a customer in there.
Yep. He was like, why can't I just buy these?
Yeah.
I'm right here. It's like, it's not the way it's eBay. It's not the way it works. She's like, no, lady, this is not the way it works. You don't have a store that sells things on eBay in real life. What are you doing? Hilarious. And then the daughter also blew up. She played a bunch of different roles after that as well. But yeah, so for me, it's Coming to America, Baby Boy, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Friday,
yeah.
and Harlem Nights. Like, any of those movies are on, I have to sit there and watch. It's a must.
You gotta trap your wife and get her to watch. Man, that's crazy.
So stop shooting that little ass gun. That movie's really old though, so a lot of those actors are also not with us anymore. That's a very old movie.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
Because they're talking about redoing it.
See, but how do you do it, right? Like Tyrese ain't here no more. You know what I mean? Like
that was going to be Tyrese character was going to be Monique, is what they were saying. Like Monique was the character, which would be very, very fitting for the role. But it's a weird hodgepodge of people because some people are still alive. So Eddie Murphy still looks like he looked back then.
Yeah,
it's like, can reprise his character.
Yeah.
So put your mom on the phone.
I ain't coming home no more. Have a good life.
Hilarious.
You know what's crazy about that is I tell, like, that's one of the funniest things in that movie to me, right? Because like he just calls home and is like, I ain't coming home no more. Have a nice life. And people that have not seen the movie, when I tell it to them, like they don't laugh as hard as I laugh.
Right.
And I'm like, you got to know the backstory, right? Like they're playing this dude. There's a prostitute. There's, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's hilarious to me, man. Hilarious to me. But yeah, like Richard Pryor is gone now, so it's like,
Richard Pryor is gone. Red Fox is gone. Tyrese, but you still have Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall. So you still have some people.
Robin Harris.
It'll never come to fruition. Like they, or maybe it will, because I never thought coming to America would have surfaced, and it just wasn't there.
No,
man, I missed the mark. Yeah,
I still want to do that.
Because I've only watched it once as well.
I still want to do that. I don't want to do that to Harlem Nights. And how do you call it Harlem Nights? Because they had to leave Harlem in the end, right? Remember they took care of Bugsy and then rolled out.
Life, everybody left Harlem, right? It's been gentrified.
Yeah.
maybe that's the plot to the movie, right? Going back to Harlem. Because everybody got kicked out of Harlem. The brownstone costs like $2.5 billion now.
Crazy expensive now.
Yeah. Crazy. But my bad. I didn't mean to. Like, I knew this was going to happen. I didn't want to take you too far off the rails. But I do want to watch Beverly Hills Cop. I'm still going to watch it. Just for the soundtrack alone.
It's not a bad watch, man. It really isn't. Like I said, the story leaves a little bit to be desired. It's very straightforward in what it is, you know what I mean? But it was the same thing in the 80s, right? Like, it's like they weren't really hiding too much, you know what I mean, in what it was. But
it's really deep. Like, because you brought up Johnny Five. So what was that? Short Circuit. Those movies didn't go too deep. Lightning strikes a robot. Now it's alive. Let's go.
But and here's the thing. Like, you read the reviews, and like some of these critics, I've said this before, I'll say it again. They just want to hate things to hate things, and that's what's bad about it, right? Like, you know, you're watching this for some nostalgic purposes. You know what I'm saying? And you get some of that, but they're getting down. They're getting dogged for that, and it's like, whatever, man. Like, we know what we're watching for. We know we're not watching Shakespeare, you know, or whatever it is you guys want to pretend like all these movies are. So I don't know. It's worth a watch for sure.
There's an Easter egg that it's not spoiling anything, but Eddie Murphy's daughter plays a cop in it as well. So that's kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah. So I think they show a picture. I think she's
okay. I know which one. I think I know which one it is. Yeah. I think I know which one it is. Yeah. So
I was like, that's pretty cool. That's happening a lot though. Like, we're starting to see a lot of Hollywood and sports, not necessarily nepotism, because it's always a bad word, right? A pejorative. But I'm here for it. Like Bronny playing on the Lakers with his father, like that's crazy. Now you have Eddie Murphy, he putting his kids in movies because it happens all the time. Like the Thor movie, was it Thor?
Love and Thunder, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's their kids are in that movie.
Yep.
Running around like a lot of the actors like Hemsworth's kids are in it. What's Jane's real name? Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, yeah.
Yeah, her kids are in it. So I like to see that. Like, yeah, why not? Like, if I best believe if I was an actor or an athlete, I'd definitely have my kids playing. Like Jordan, even though his kids aren't Jordan level, like you go and play on this team, whether you want to or not. You gonna be part of this. So I love to see it. No games? You get no games?
No, man. I keep telling myself I need to get something and I don't. I just do. Right. I know. I gotta finish shit up. I do that, and I still haven't played the DLC for God of War, man. Like I gotta make it happen, but yeah, none for me. What about you, man?
So pretty busy week. Again, the holiday feel. Like I get it. Okay, 1776, 4th of July, but let's observe it on a Friday. I'm tired of getting a Wednesday off, a Thursday off. Like I know it rotates, right? I get how a calendar works. But no, let's just observe it on the weekend. We still call it 4th of July. It'll be kind of weird. It'll throw people off when they celebrate on the 6th. But it is what it is, all right? Nobody wants a Tuesday off, a Wednesday off. In this case, a Thursday is I think a Thursday is probably the worst. Because then you feel obligated to take that Friday off, and I'm not going to do it.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be if it was the Wednesday, like right smack dab in the middle of the week. That's when it's the worst. You know what I mean? Like you put it right smack dab in the middle. It's like I'll be like, you come back from Monday, you get used to it on Tuesday, you get that break again, then it feels like Monday again on Thursday, then Friday. I don't know, just putting it right in the middle like that. Because I want to say, well, Veterans Day. Sometimes they will observe outside of the 11th. Like if the 11th is a Saturday or Sunday, they'll do the day before, the day after. But for the most part, 4th of July is on the 4th of July, right? Because the other ones, we take it as Memorial Day will be the last Monday in May, right? Like Labor Day will be the first Monday. Thursday. Yeah. So like you got it with some of these others where it's not, when it comes to Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, right? Is it third Monday in the month? Is that right? Third Monday, I think. Yeah. I could be wrong on that, but President's Day will be this one. I don't know. You do it for other ones, but I get what you're saying. But because it is the actual 4th of July is today, and even then, I don't think that's historically accurate. I think it was like the 2nd or something like that, right? The 2nd of July was when they consider Independence Day the 4th, but I want to say it's like 2 days earlier or something like that. The 2nd of July was when everything actually really took place, and then it took to the 4th or something. I don't know. I'd have to look at it again. I read this before.
It was signed, but it didn't actually go into. Maybe.
I want to say. That's what I want to say.
You can't get nothing through Congress in a day.
Nah, man, it's something back in 1776. You have to ride it on a horse somewhere,
Right. You couldn't fax it.
Yeah.
But that's very accurate, though. Your horse. That's how I imagine. Yeah. And the horse is like, "Can you stop hitting me? Like, I don't get why you because I know you're supposed to like squeeze the ribs. Like when you kick the ribs, it makes them run faster. You think it'd be counterproductive. This is where I breathe. Stop doing that."
Yeah.
This is heard stories. But so celebrated the holiday, threw some on the grill. Watched a little bit of fireworks that they did in the back, but it rained real hard just before sunset, so it wasn't as big as it usually is throughout the years. But it was good though because it's pretty dry here, so it probably stopped somebody's house from catching fire. So that's always a good thing. Then went to work because I'm never taking the rest of that. I'm never going to do it. All right. It's not like in the military where you take one, you get like 15 days off if you cycle it just right. Like 1 for 4, 2 for 7. You don't get that out here. So I'm just going to work. I'm not taking PT. So then went right back to work. Caught a cold. I don't know if people could probably hear it on the mic or whatever. I've been holding coughs. I have not been this sick in a while. It's probably just a cold. But I'm just like, man, did I have COVID? Like, even though the world doesn't care about COVID anymore, it's still out there, right? It's the 15th variant. But it felt very COVID-y because my lungs hurt when I cough, like they're on fire. I was just like, I remember that from the original recipe, right? When I had that first hit of COVID, I was like, I'm going to die. Like every time I cough, it feels like I'm ripping my lungs apart. And I'm kind of getting a little bit of that. So, but it's just about over. So that's good. My youngest niece brought it in the house, and it's spread like a very slow wildfire as it jumps from host to host, never at the same time. It's like I just want us to all be sick at once. So no, it's person to person to person. But that's what happens when you have kids in daycare. I forgot about that because all my kids are so much older now. Yeah, picked her up. She had a runny nose. Temp. It's all downhill from there. Walking petri dishes. That's what they are. Cute petri dishes. That's what they are. And then actually did get some game in, right? So I played some more Final Fantasy. I'm almost done with I think I'm on the sixth chapter. I'm almost done with it. It's a lot of bloat right now. Like I'm already doing everything, but this chapter is like they went kind of hard in the paint in some areas where you're just like you didn't have to do that. Like in the original game, this was just a beat and you moved on, but in this one, you got a lot of stuff happening. But it's fun. I'm having a good time. But as a palate cleanser, I've been playing Dead Space, which looks amazing. The remake of Dead Space looks amazing. I highly recommend for anyone who has played in the past, play it again. Great. Looks amazing. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, like I know I need to get more into the games, man. Like it's not something that I'm putting a lot of time into, and like pretty much my PS5 is just my media center now, right? Like I just stream everything from it. So, but go ahead, continue, man. Like you were saying. That's interesting. Yeah, I never heard that.
It's
So they're probably able to do that though because it's not as fast paced. Like Ratchet and Clank, I've seen the older versions of it. Like it's not like it's really that fast paced. Like if you were playing some type of shooting game or something like that, ducking behind cover and stuff whizzing past you all the time, it'd probably be impossible to keep that pace. You know what I mean?
Finding PG.
Is it making you proud?
At work, you should be having these days.
Well, again, so think about our time, right? Like when we were watching Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. We were about his age, man.
That is true. Yeah. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger,
Yeah,
that would be around that time. Yeah.
we were about that age.
But yeah, he loves it. Like my oldest daughter, she does not like scary movies at all. She went to see a Quiet Place with us, so. But I turned to look to see, and I can see her like covering her eyes. Like, you 18, like woman up and watch this scary movie with us. But yeah, he really enjoyed it, so he wanted to watch the rest of them, which are slower paced than that one. So I kind of see his attention waning, right? Because he has to wait to see the alien. In this one, like, they're pretty prevalent, like up front. So I think I might test them out on the alien movies next. I think you might like the first two. So check those out. I can't remember if there's adult stuff in it, right? So I got.
So yeah, what was that?
Like what transpired in those movies? So I'm
Not,
gonna have to skip over.
not necessarily adult, but Sigourney Weaver is she's in some clothes that you could see some things. I want to say, if you're worried about that, like just kind of see through. But I don't remember there being any nudity in the first two.
Okay, because I remember there's a scene in a Bruce Lee joint. I think it's Enter the Dragon that has a nudity scene, like a topless scene or whatever, and I completely forgot about it. My wife yelled at me. She was like, "Brian." I was like, "What?" And I turned, I looked, I was like, "Oh, I forgot." So I have to kind of remember. There's a site. I can't remember the name of it, but you can type in a movie and it'll tell you. Kind of like for
IMDb
your
will tell you.
version.
Yeah. IMDb will tell you.
Oh, will it?
If you go to IMDb, yeah, it will tell you what's in there for this purpose, right? Like if you want to have your children watch something.
American culture is so weird. Like I'm worried about him seeing like a topless scene, but I'm cool with him seeing people get stabbed up.
It is weird like that, right? Like there's things we worry about that's just like, man, if we were in Europe right now, like there'd be commercials with the stuff in there. It's not a problem.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like the first time I got out of the airport at it wasn't Heathrow, it was Charles de Gaulle, CDG. I walked out and you know how they have the newsstands or whatever? Yeah, covers with just, breasts. I was like, what is going on here? I was like, oh yeah, I'm overseas.
Yeah, and it
They don't care
doesn't.
about that stuff.
And from my knowledge, right? Like I don't know, maybe I could be wrong on this, but like when it comes to like sexual violence and things like that, like they have a lesser rates of it over there as well. Like maybe because they're exposed to it at a young age, they're like, I don't need to assault anybody to see this. You know what I mean? Here in America, we're like, no, you can't see it. We're probably saying 21 now. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, that's probably why.
Yeah, you get off a plane in Europe and, there's naked people on the newsstands. You get off a plane in America and there's guns on the newsstands. Complete craziness. Like just the juxtaposition of the two is wild. Because I remember falling asleep. I was in Germany. I was staying at a hotel that was part of a mall. It's kind of cool. I was watching F-150 or something like that. I can't remember. It was like people in basically rockets is what they were driving around the track. I fell asleep. I woke up and it was wild. I was like, whoa! Like I leave it on. What was that when we were kids? Like Cinemax.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was the sports channel. It was like Fox Sports turned into like a whole adult situation after like 10 p.m. I was like, what in the world? It's different over there. But yeah, I'm probably gonna check out another one today. Like I think I'm gonna go Alien. I'm gonna check out Alien to see because they showed a trailer for the new one that's coming out. I can't remember the name of it. It has like a subtitle, but it takes place between one like so Alien and Aliens. Aliens being the second one, and it takes place between all. So I'm like, oh, I gotta go see it. Like those are the only ones that were good. So I'll check those out, and then probably check that movie out when it comes out. Like if he likes it, I'll tell him to go see it. Basically. So but that's pretty much it for me. Really have much going on. So now we're in the weekend. I'm getting over this cold just in time to go back to work. I'll probably finish up. Like I'm almost done Ratchet and Clank. Like I'm about 100% that one already. Maybe I don't know. I haven't got that many trophies, so I got to see what I'm missing. But if there's a icon on the map, I go find it. Like I need to go collect everything. And it's a beautiful game. Like I said, so definitely if you have not checked that out, I would recommend. That's pretty much it. And then I gotta knock out some of these episodes. The mic's been cutting out, so that means I gotta actually listen to the full episode, find where it fell off, and fix it. I need a production team. Like, do you want to work for free for one of the top 10% podcasts? Yes, I do. Like, you can work for Joe Rogan after you work for me. Definitely continue to tune in. Hit us up on all the social medias that go by our name. Hit me in person at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on most platforms to find Chris and Daniel on LinkedIn by their names. Stay safe, stay secure.